What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live and large here from Site B on a cold and rainy Thursday morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the 23rd day of February 2023. It's the first day of Lent for those of you who celebrate this thing. I am giving up McDonald's for Lent. That should be interesting, considering I love me a double quarter pounder. And I'm using my radio voice today. I'm not sure why. I just thought I'd try something different. And I didn't get a lot of sleep. So that could be it. So, not to be undone, our friend Kyle Brink is at it again. And Hasbro / Wizards of the Coast is at us again as they continue their parade of goodwill in attempts to regain the trust of the Vox Populus out there, as they have experienced another stock loss today. It's down $1 today, and it is $50 off from where it was a year ago today. So if you bought one share of Hasbro stock a year ago, on February 23rd, 2022, it would have cost you $100. If you buy one share of Hasbro stock today, February 23rd, 2023, would cost you about $53. So, yeah, I don't see how they claim that Wizards of the Coast made a profit, especially since almost every day Wizards of the Coast is trying to once again claim they misfired on how they handled the fan base in the OGL and how they're handling D&D. So there's only so many times you can say the same thing before people start going, okay, yeah, we get it. You're done apologizing. Now do something. So what did they do? Kyle Brink, the new stalking horse, the new scapegoat for Wizards of the Coast, made a statement yesterday that Wizards of the Coast will never touch Dark Sun because it is far too problematic to fit within the current Wizards of the Coast's political leanings, thought policing, big brotherness. And I suppose, yes, on the surface, there are things that might be considered no in Dark Sun, post-apocalyptic fantasy, carnivorous, cannibalistic halflings, slavery, mutations, magic that doesn't work. Yeah, I guess. So they claim they are not going to touch Dark Sun at this point in time. Well, Kyle, then why don't you just sell it off? Because I'm sure there's another company out there that would love to do it. No, we're not going to sell it off because we're afraid that other companies who have access to the OGL / 3.0 rule set / 5e SRD might do inappropriate or hateful things. So, because they want to continue to control the narrative of D&D related products, they wouldn't want to say Goodman Games to give Dark Sun the DCC once over, which I think DCC would be a perfect system for a Dark Sun game, right? Anyone disagree? So yeah, no Dark Sun. They claim they're not going to do Dark Sun. Except, of course, they claim they weren't going to do Ravenloft. And they did. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at our batting scores. Let's take a look at our how our player has performed in the world. Okay, so with some of the titles that were unbelievably easy, and yet somehow they messed up incredibly. Let's start with Spelljammer. There are so much Spelljammer products. I'm just gonna, not counting figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm looking at least 20 here. So, between the time Spelljammer was made and the time Spelljammer was abandoned, there were probably 100 official Wizards of the Coast / Dungeons and Dragons / whoever products, and probably another 100 to 1,000 more third-party products for Spelljammer. So literally, when Wizards of the Coast said we're going to do Spelljammer now, last year, which in a perfect universe following the thought design of 5e, there's really only two logical places that 5e should have been set, Spelljammer being one of them. Now, the 5e engine does not work for pulp fantasy D&D. I think we all agree upon that, even D&D players. But you know what it would have worked for? It would have worked for just a Spelljammer. Just Spelljammer should have been the campaign setting from day one. Or the Fendelven setting. You know, why wait almost, 15 years to go, hey, we're going to expand on that Fendelven setting, even though, it's considered the best thing we ever made for 5e. It's like, no, you should have just run with it back then. All right. So, enough said, we know you had a plethora of Spelljammer content to use for 5e Spelljammer. So literally all you had to do was say, find the 3.5 2.0 math and convert it to 5, and then we're just going to re-release it with maybe some new art, because the work's already been done. So work smarter, not harder. If somebody's already done all the work and we own those files, literally all we have to do is upgrade it to 5e, make it so you can access it on D&D Beyond, and boom, Bob's your uncle. Here you go. Here's 5th edition Spelljammer. All we did was change the math. But no, you couldn't do that. You couldn't leave well enough alone. We know the whole space monkey thing and the lack of ship-to-ship combat thing and all the other things that made Spelljammer are missing. And now Spelljammer today just looks sort of like a poor clone of StarCraft, which is, Starfighter, which is better. All right. So that's the most obvious one. Next most obvious one, Radiant Citadel. Literally wrote itself. Radiant Citadel literally wrote itself. All you had to do was watch every season of DS9 and then convert it to the Radiant Citadel setting. The writing had already been done. You had the setup. Radiant Citadel's literally Deep Space Nine. Bam. But no, you couldn't do that. Strixhaven. Again, the work has been done for you. Between Claremount's run on the X-Men and, the general idea of magic school or superhero school. Teen superhero school has been done. Tons of product to just take and use. Fantasy school has been done, both in anime and, of course, Harry Potter and, Miss Peregrine's. And there's tons of other fantasy school settings. So all you had to do was look at the, 20, 40 years work of X-Men, Harry Potter, anime, super school, fantasy school, school for good and evil, Vampire Academy. All the work had been done. All you had to do was mush it up together and present us with Strixhaven. But no. Witchlight. Again, literally, easy as pie. Let us just go read Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream and convert it into a D&D adventure. Easy as pie. But no. So, even though all the work for Dark Sun has been done for you, all you would have to do is take all the math that's already been done and convert it to one D&D. Put a little disclaimer on the front, knowing full well that if you put a no disclaimer on it, you're guaranteeing to sell it more product. And then release it into the wild and see how it does. And if people complain, you can just play we put a warning on it. We had cultural consultants look at it. We gave you what you wanted it. It is definitely a mature title, but no. We know that whatever you do with Dark Sun will not be Dark Sun. It'll be it won't even be post-apocalypse fantasy. It'll just be, here's a desert planet. So yes, Kyle, we are very, very grateful that you do not have any plans to touch Dark Sun, except, of course, you told us you weren't going to touch Ravenloft, and you did, and then told us you weren't going to change Ravenloft, and you did. You messed up Spelljammer, you messed up Radiant Citadel, you messed up Strixhaven, you messed up Witchlight, you messed up Ravenloft. So yeah, we can't trust you with the classic settings. So if you're not going to sell them off, then just shelve them. Never talk about them ever again. But really, it's in your best interest to sell off Dark Sun and sell off the Realms and sell off Eberron and let other third-party people use it while you make those back alley extra pennies off of the use of the copyrighted material, OGL crap stuff. So please don't touch it. If you need a campaign setting for 6e, you've already got Spelljammer. You've got Planescape coming, which we know you're going to ruin. I don't know how you could ruin it because all the work's been done for you for Planescape. All you literally need to do is change the math to 5e and reprint it. And then if you feel there's something inappropriate in Planescape, just put a adult content warning on it, knowing full well that if you put the adult content warning on it, it'll increase the chances people will buy it because no. But no, if you do Planescape at the end of this year, it'll be some horrible mockery of what Planescape should have been because you will force your current political agenda onto Planescape, which, again, should be really easy to write. I mean, you already have the Magic the Gathering Planeswalker stuff. Planescape could just be Magic the Gathering Planeswalker. The stuff's already there. The lore's already there. We've got all the Planeswalker. We've got Mishra and Urza and Jace and all those guys. You could just combine them and make that Planescape. And finally combine the two worlds together. But no. Probably you're going to do the same thing to Planescape that you did to Spelljammer and Radiant Citadel, which is take something that's very easy and turn it into something that's complex and a political pedestal to stand on where there doesn't need to be one. So, yeah, don't touch Dark Sun. And you know what? If you're going to do Planescape, literally, the work's been done before you. Just copy, paste, change the math. Don't do anything else. If you do, it will only be another disaster. Please like, please share, please subscribe. If you agree with this nonsense that's coming out of my mouth, let me know. If you'd like to see something different, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 1,500 subs by April 1st. Till then, coming to you live from Dark Sun is the OGGM on a lazy Thursday morning. Stay safe.